My husband is starting to gross me out. He's not doing anything about it.
Ew.
I, 40 female, and my husband, 40 male, have been together since high school. We have built a financially stable and respectful relationship. He is a great father, a role model to our young children. He does the equal share around the house, laundry, cooking, parenting, etc. By the way, this comes from existing key 333. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, over the past 3 to 5 years, I'm continuously finding him less and less attractive.
Ooh.
We've been to counseling together over this, and we've had many peaceful conversations, but nothing seems to improve from my perspective. I'm going to list a few examples. And before Reddit jumps on me like a group of feral dogs saying these things are stupid, please understand we've been together for a long time, and all the little things eventually snowball into big things. All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
He forgets about 70% of our conversations.
Why is this talking about me?
I'm having to give him reminder receipts on everything we've talked about. Man, that sounds me. That sounds like me. I forget so many conversations. He snores while awake.
Uh-oh.
That's me, bro.
Uh-oh.
That's me. Allie, when we were together in bed, I was reading, and she like looked at me and was like, "Are you still awake?" Because I breathe so heavy because I can't breathe through my nose.
Our boy, but it's gonna get fixed soon.
Yeah. I'm getting my Kim K nose job in a bit. Yep. Anyway, he snores while awake. Literally, his face and hair smells so bad. To me, anyways. I'm pretty sure it's just his bodily oils. Are you zooming in on me again?
No, he zoomed in on me. I'm like, dang, dude.
Get wrecked, John.
Put a lot of effort into this.
When he wants attention, he gets really immature and starts talking in a baby voice. Doesn't mommy?
Does he not? He does do it sometimes.
For a joke.
Attention.
I'm upset. Attention.
He leaves boogers and skin flakes in and around the sink.
Don't do it.
No.
Nice.
I could go on with more examples, but let's not keep you here forever. We have talked about every single one of these things and more. If there could be a medical issue, he's been to a doctor. Everything is fixable, but it's not being fixed. I know I'm not perfect, but these things seem to irritate me to my core. I feel like I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, bashing my head through a wall. That's dramatic, but I feel desperate. This cannot be the rest of my life. How do I get over this? Or what can we do to further live happily the rest of our lives? We got an edit. We got an update. We are less than a 10th through. But what do we think about this laundry list of grievances?
Yeah, I mean, it is we are venturing into like gray area, right? Where it's like, okay, like how much someone like showers or whatever, but it does come to a point where it's like, okay, if you can't like live with that person. Also, I think like the baby voice and the like.
Which one's worse to you guys? Also, like of the laundry list, right? Like which one is the worst one? Because we got snoring while awake.
That one.
That's light.
We got smelly face and hair. We got boogers and skin flakes in the sink.
70% of conversations.
We're getting 70% of conversations.
There's another one.
There's another one.
Smell? Did we head smell?
We
already said that one.
Smell.
Yeah.
We already said baby voice. Yeah, baby voice and boogers and skin flakes in the sink.
And snoring. Oh, sorry. I call snoring.
Snoring? That's a light work. Maybe either baby voice or head smell, because like if they just smell bad really bad all the time, it just comes to a point where like
yeah,
I can't.
Dude, bad smell is definitely yeah.
It's just like you can't live with that for, I don't know, it reaches a point. I feel like.
I mean, I think I think honestly, like maybe the way to get the bad smell is just be like, does little baby wanna take a bath? Use his own methods against him.
But he's an angry baby voice. He's like, you need to take a bath. Wee, splish, splash, I'm in the bath.
I'm telling you, he does it too well.
He's been practicing.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are saying baby voice. I didn't know baby voice was so
Skin flakes, like dandruff.
Everyone's got skin flakes,
Yeah,
bro.
true. But if it's like, I look at your hair and you have some in your hair and it's like,
but it's in the sink, dude.
we can help get some shampoo or something. Let's like figure this out together, you know?
I
This is
think
more of
if
a
you
together thing.
But I think if you solve the hair and face smell, you solve the skin flakes.
Ooh, yeah.
Probably.
Ming Ming 60 probably doesn't use soap. Unlike this guy who has 18-in-1 shampoo now, thanks to chat.
All the soaps.
18-1. Yeah, dude. I even tried brushing my teeth with it. If you watch the live, you know what's up. You know what's up. Anyway, edit. This is really blowing up, and I'm thankful for everyone's comments. Keep commenting. I think a lot of us are finding community and can resonate with one another. Even in the disagreements, there's a lot of valuable information. There's a lot of actual items that I am considering as I plan my next move. So, more medical checkups, specialist appointments, therapy, HRT, and big girl conversations, etc. Many balls are up in the air, and I will come back to do an update once I have the ducks in a row. We got some relevant comments, but John, what do you think OP should do to remedy this smelly baby man?
I mean, it sounds like they said they'd been in like counseling, and she's kind of like laid out this list, right?
This is like the proposed methods of getting to greener pastures. So these have not been enacted, but they are in the process of potentially being enacted.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest like bottom line thing is just like very clearly communicating like, hey, if you literally just smell bad 24/7 or like constantly use the baby voice and get like upset with me in an immature way, like these are just not things I can live with forever. I can't just like sit here while you smell like dookie 24/7.
Yeah.
You know, it reaches a point. So let's work together to figure out what to do about it. If you want to, care and you want to work on a relationship.
Also, I feel like, their spicy sleep life must be in the toilet.
Gotta be, right?
It's gotta be in the toilet.
Yeah.
Dude. What?
Are you thinking the same thing?
I have no idea what you're thinking, man.
He uses the baby voice in bed.
Oh God. Oh God.
I told
Mommy!
you.
Mommy.
Mommy.
Yeah. How do you ask someone to stop using a baby voice? I don't like it.
Stop using baby voice.
Stop
please.
using a baby voice.
It's too much.
Yeah.
There it is.
Give them another voice to use in another context. Be like, hey, when you're needy, I don't like the baby voice. But if you're ever happy, use like a Russian accent, and I would like to engage with you in that way.
Yep,
There we go. That's
There
your
we
voice.
go. That's one. There we go. That's the only voice I want to hear in bed.
Oh, God.
All right, we got some relevant comments. So, commenter 1. Why only the last 3 to 5 years is this irritating you? You've been together a lot longer, so does his behavior suddenly change to this, or has something changed with you?
Like I was thinking that too, like medication changed recently or something like that.
Oh, yeah, did she get off birth control, and that's why he's so smelly? Because, do you know about that, John?
Changes like the way you perceive smell and stuff?
So if you're on birth control and you are attracted to someone and you get off of it, you may not be attracted to them anymore because your hormones have changed and stuff. Yeah. But OP said we had kids later in life as 2 young single people. We always just had fun and not a lot bothered us. Throw kids in the mix and everything got flipped upside down. I was the primary caregiver to our kids, staying home with them for 5 years. It's only been the past 3 to 5 years that I'm back to my life outside the home, and all of this irritates me now. And commenter 2, and before Redditor jumps in and saying these things are stupid, please understand we've been together for a long time and a lot of these little things snowball. And the commenter says, I don't think these things are stupid. I worry that you frame your concerns that way at all. Like him never remembering conversations, it's tiring. It means you have to waste a lot of time and energy constantly refreshing his memory, and I'm guessing having to mother him in terms of scheduling and stuff as a result. Snoring while awake, I just don't see how that isn't a medical thing. You say he offers equal participation in the house, but he doesn't. He doesn't clean up after using the sink, and him constantly defaulting to an unhealthy communication style when he wants something despite you likely bringing it up in counseling shows he's really not taking any steps forward. These are all absolutely valid problems. I suspect part of you downplaying them now is how you got this far in the first place. None of these are new. They should have been bigger deals from the start, but you pushed through and now you just can't anymore. Maybe you just have to be a little more blunt and direct about your burnout, especially in therapy. I think that's a good point. Point out the utter lack of progress and point out you feel like you are being forced to leave as a result. I don't know about the forced to leave bit. I feel like that feels like a bit much.
Yeah, I think it's just like, we kind of, I feel like I talked about it earlier where it's like, hey, I don't know if I can continue, I don't know if for the rest of my days be in this relationship with this. So there comes a point.
OP response. I appreciate the validation and calling me out for downplaying it. Sometimes I feel so embarrassed trying to explain this to close friends who have husbands who are not equal partners. And you're right, I do need to be more blunt with him. Downplaying it isn't going to make him realize how irritated I am. And there is a question, is there any chance that OP's husband did not switch out of his party lifestyle? And OP responds, we didn't party in the way that's being implied. The fun we had was travel, hiking, sports. He does partake in THC oil at night, and we do have social drinks on the weekend. And comment 3, do you think he's in love with you? Have you talked about it? And OP responds, we do. He loves me so much, and I love him too, but my love feels like it's changing, whereas his love is still on the relative plane of romantic love. That's what makes this really hard for me to work through. If we both fell out at the same time, we'd be amazing co-parents and have the healthiest relationship possible for our kids, but it's definitely one-sided, and if I actually ended my marriage because of this, it would be so devastating. We have an update, but yeah, I mean, I feel like this doesn't feel marriage ending yet. I understand it's a lot of small things, but it feels like, I mean, definitely bring them up in a more blunt, aggressive is the wrong word, but more direct way. And I mean, I think maybe spare his feelings less and just say like, all right, like this is what I need from you. And I think maybe talk about like, I feel myself, maybe less attracted. You could even just say like, I feel myself less attracted to you because of like your lack of hygiene. And I want to feel attracted to you.
I'm curious, like maybe it is more the attraction, but I wonder like on the baby voice and him like acting really immature and like a child. I wonder how big of a part that plays in it. Because to me, I'm like, oh, if someone literally is just like completely acting like a child and you can't like work with them or talk with them, then
yeah. But she does say he's like a good father and stuff. So I think there are elements that and like he says he's an equal partner in terms of like housing responsibility. So
but when it comes to hygiene and maybe cleaning up after him, like with the sink, there may be that kid aspect, like, oh, I have another kid in the house at sometimes.
Yeah, I think maybe there's aspects that he's definitely not holding up his end, but I think there's enough adults that I'm seeing that I think you can have a conversation, but you won't know until you have it.
This is true.
Miss Jaybird says, nothing says super sexy like having to mother a grown-ass adult. Man,
Mommy.
We got an update. Mommy. But we got an update.
Let's go.
First, thank you to everyone who commented and took the time to share insight. I read as much as I could as a newbie Redditor. It was pretty overwhelming. Just a few of my own comments. I do recognize I'm in perimenopause. I will be talking to my doctor about this. Even though the rage boils my entire being, I still remember how to be gentle, kind, and empathetic. I was never a raging witch towards him, like a few suggested. I'm more forceful with my tone to truly get my message across. As many of you pointed out in the comments, I've let a lot slide in the past, which is how I've gotten here. So perimenopause rage is actually emboldening me to be more assertive.
It's like the transitional state into menopause.
My annoyance is amplified, but his behavior is still unacceptable. He doesn't have ADHD. That's actually me, lol. Unless mine is so bad, he looks neurotypical, lol. He's gained weight over the past few years. He's not obese, but he's been an athlete the majority of his life. And so the extra 50 to 70 pounds is probably a lot for him and is causing a lot of the issues. The hygiene issues will have to be discussed another day based on what happened tonight. I don't think he could have handled it. Oh. Uh-oh.
What's up?
I mean, I'm ready for I'm ready for the shoe to drop.
And there's only, I mean, the thing is, there's only one way to find out, and you gotta talk. You gotta communicate those things.
All right. So I will be making skincare suggestions, but will not be purchasing things for him. He's a grown butt man and can do that himself. I've been proactive to make sure I'm taking care of myself as I age. I don't need to be making his doctor appointments and buying him his skincare. And the baby voice thing. I'll just keep telling him it's deeply unattractive and honestly gross. And I will not be having spicy sleep with any man who chooses to talk to me like that. I'm happy to answer any more questions, but as this sub only lets me do one update, I guess this is it. To the update, sorry so long. It was like talking to a child. So tonight, we were relaxing in bed, and I began by saying, have you ever considered getting tested for sleep apnea? He says apprehensively, yes, I have, and waited for me to continue. I said, I've been doing some research and I'm wondering if maybe you have it because of the snoring while being wide awake. He said he would like to try to exercise first because he knows that's where a lot of his breathing problems stem from. I continued by saying, it's not just the snoring, it's the lack of oxygen. Maybe that would explain the weak memory.
We are connecting some dots here.
Okay. I also, as a note, I would probably not bring in all of these things at the same time. I might, if he's already like sensitive, I might bring it in one at a time, you know?
Or we could put up a FBI corkboard and connect every
these.
single one of his ailments with red yarn.
Dude,
and
honestly,
get to the bottom of it.
I'm so like when I'm getting my nose fixed, I'm so excited to breathe more. I think you'll have I think you get so much energy. It's just lack of oxygen causes so many problems.
That is very true.
But he continued to say he knows he has a thick neck and wants to try working out first. I stayed quiet for a long time after this. Eventually, I said, you've been saying you want to exercise for a long time and it hasn't happened. It's fine that you want to get back in shape, but I'm more concerned about the lack of memory and I can't wait around for you to find a time to work out. I feel like we can't have meaningful conversations together. I can't trust you're going to remember them. He just kept going back to the exercise solution. So I said, I'm grasping at solutions to present to you, hoping you'll consider something to improve this. This is a you thing now, and I can't do it for you. I've been giving you suggestions for a while, and now including getting tested for sleep apnea. Choose what you want to do or not, but I can't live like this anymore.
I don't know if this is it, because I think we go from an area where we're like,
you're putting him on the defensive.
You're putting him on the defensive. Yeah. It's like more attacking when you could say like, hey, I'm going to be honest. Like for me personally, you know, this is some, and then you're trying to like control, I guess, exactly what he's going to do versus saying, hey, here's how I feel. And like where I'm like, you know, if I'm honest, I don't know if I can, you know, I guess live my life with you.
I feel like I would talk about your experience a little bit more. Like I feel like going straight to the I don't know if I can live like this anymore is like talking in breakup language, which I think is kind of not, you know, not necessary yet.
Yeah.
But I would say like, hey, like I'm feeling less attracted to you because of this. I can't get good sleep. I feel like we're not having great conversations like here. And I think like for this relationship to work and to be the best it can be, I need you to start working on these things like now, and I need to see it.
Yeah.
Another thing that I didn't like was he's going to have to buy his own face skincare. I'm not going to do that. What I was thinking is like, it seems like it's all on him instead of like a team effort. I don't know, if Angie was like, let's work on your face care, she'd probably buy the stuff and be like, let's do it one day together just to understand what that looks like. And like for the workout thing, hey, let's just take a walk after we eat. I don't know, just something to kind of snowball that effect.
Honestly, I don't care about that as much as I do like being like, hey, she's like, here's this like you're not doing any of the to-do lists that I'm like trying to make you do. Like, why aren't you doing my to-do lists? Because I feel like it also takes it away from the like, you know, productive solutions and more just like attacking, like you said.
And again, like she is snapping because it's been so long that she's had to deal with this. So I understand that. I just think if she's trying to get her way, I don't know if this is the best way to do it. I'm curious what chat has to say about this. And Slyly Tove says, at this point though, I feel it's necessary. Have you ever had the same conversation with the partner over and over again? You're poison tonic. That is the angel move, but putting all the pressure on OP. Lady Morgan says, talking to him about it for years hasn't inspired him to do anything. I don't know if she's really brought it up as directly before.
Yeah, to Slyly Toves' comment, I would ask him, could you share how you think I feel about it? So like basically, do you understand the severity of like my feelings on it? Because maybe he legitimately doesn't understand. But like it is of course annoying to have that conversation. And then you tell him what that is.
Guess I'm just in such a healthy relationship, I didn't think of that aspect.
Well, it was quiet for a long time, and it was pretty obvious he wasn't really understanding the full scope of it. Man's not having enough air to his brain. So I continue to say that I don't have a partner I can trust to have any type of conversation with because there's no guarantee that he'll remember it. I try to have mindless conversations about plans that we have about the kids. And when he proves again that he can't remember, it makes me feel even more alone. I told him I can't have a partner where I can't connect with or feel I can share important things with, knowing I'll be pointed down, knowing that I'll be disappointed and let down later. He tried to deflect by asking how often I thought this was happening. Let me tell you, if I was a violent person, now is about the time I would have ripped out his eyeballs. He seriously was not understanding the severity of this. I said, it happens enough that I try to give you a little, but when you forget, I reminded all over again that you do this often. I'm angry all the time about it, is how often you forget. If you need that indicator. He acknowledged this. I asked him if he noticed the majority of our conversations of the past few years happened over text. I told him this because I think if it's in writing, at least he can go back and reread and remind himself. This is why I don't talk to him in person anymore. I think, I don't know if this has been surfaced to him. This seems like this is the first honest conversation that they're having.
I could see that. Yeah, I think it, and I get it can be hard to fully communicate and have someone download how severe. Maybe say out of a scale of 10, 10 being I'm divorcing you right now, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree though.
This is why I don't want to talk to him in person anymore. He deflected again by saying he thought we texted more because the kids aren't around and it's easier to focus and have a conversation. He thought I wasn't talking to him in person because I'd rather be on my phone or reading. I told him I do those things because I don't want to talk to him in person.
Oof.
By the way, you can always talk to us.
Oh, yeah.
In person, virtually. By listening to full episodes with stories just like this, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. I swear these are placed aggressively.
They really are.
And I love it. There's another relevant update. But yeah, John, what do you think about where we are?
I mean, again, kind of echoing what we've been saying, it is definitely possible that she's already communicated this, but I am have we really, truly, fully sat him down and understood how important these things are to you, especially before going on the offensive and trying to prescribe and getting angry at all these things he's not doing, oh, you said you'd work out. Why aren't you working out? It's no, I feel like we're getting away from the point at that juncture.
Yeah. I'm glad that there is communication happening.
Yes. Yeah.
It is frustrated communication.
Yes. That will get them closer.
I think, even frustrated communication can be better than no communication.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad that you're taking this step. But he's definitely, I feel like hearing this, it's going to be, you're just going to put him on the offensive.
Yeah.
Which, may not produce the results that you desire. So I finally said he needs to figure this out because I can't live like this. It's lonely and isolating. I can't talk about anything from silly, meaningless things to more serious issues. I need a partner who's stepping up for me and wants to have an integrated life. When I feel disconnected from him, it seeps into every other aspect of our relationship, and there's no connection happening anywhere because of this. I reminded him to choose what solution he wants to explore, but I won't be providing any more suggestions. This is a him thing to fix. And if it doesn't get figured out, I don't think I can survive the relationship. I left it at that. He rolled over and didn't say anything. So I guess the decision is on him now. I hope my message was clear. I don't know if he'll actually pursue anything, but I know if nothing changes, I am done with this marriage. I didn't truly feel how lonely I am until I was trying to express that to him tonight. And there are some relevant comments.
One sentence that I feel sums up my entire feeling on the story. It's a him thing to fix. Is he broken?
Yeah.
I think yes, these are things that you don't want in the relationship, but it implies at a baseline that he is wrong. His breathing, bro's got to breathe, so
yeah.
I think that attitude is just going to not be conducive to actually getting to the bottom of this.
I think there is a lot of work that he needs to do.
Totally. Yeah.
But I would echo what John's saying in that I think when you phrase relationship issues as a you problem, you're not coming to a relationship. You're I think, yes, he does have to do heavy lifting, but I think relationships should be in terms of us, we're going to work on this together. I want to support you in getting better. At least that's how I would want to feel in a relationship, a healthy relationship.
But I think where's the line? Where's the line of we? And whenever you are the one taking initiative and they're not taking up their end, it's like the equal yoke thing. Like,
yeah, and I agree. I think
there's
like
a point.
He has to pick up slack for sure. But I would love the language to be a little bit more we. Tempest says OP needs therapy too, in my opinion. Sam the Caterpillar says his unwillingness to change is on him, though. Kat says so much for in sickness and health and good times and bad. Sophia Callan says he won't change because she's been trying for years and never left him. He knows she'll stay.
Which, I mean, that totally could be the case. And it's like, all right, well, this isn't going to work.
No. Well, we got some relevant comments. So, has OP's husband been tested for any medical conditions since he seems to forget or doesn't want to remember details? OP responds, he hasn't been tested for anything. In my original post, I did mention he's been to the doctor. Nothing came of it. But now that I think of it, he probably fed the doc the same line about working out, losing weight. And we know our docs like to blame a lot of body size. So probably went along with it. I stayed up late last night reflecting on a lot, and I realized he's fine at work, new development, but also makes this all the more pathetic for me. He manages a lot of moving parts through multiple ongoing projects. He seems capable from what he tells me about work. One of the execs just came back from stress leave as his memory was failing, and my husband had a lot to say about that, so it's not looking good for us. Someone else suggested maybe he's weaponizing this, like weaponizing incompetence.
Totally.
OP responds to the comments about leaving her husband, and OP responds, I'm not leaving him because of his memory loss. After going through all the medicals, if nothing is discovered and he just sucks at prioritizing us, I'm leaving him because I'm lonely and don't have a companion. I don't need to stay with someone who doesn't want to connect with me and only wants to help pay bills and raise kids. I can do all of that on my own while finding someone who wants to share a meaningful life together. And OP responds, clarifying on lifestyle abilities her husband has. OP says he can drive a vehicle, he can work, he can play and care for our kids, he can cook, he can clean, he can fix things, he can hang out with friends, he can make a doctor's appointment, and that's where it ends.
That's it. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work out.
Yeah.
Wait, read this one.
How long can the flakes of yesterday fall down on her tooth? Oh, what is that?
Oh, man.
The skin flakes.
Skin flakes. How long can the flakes of yesterday fall down on her toothbrush?
Because he won't clean up after himself.
That reads like
It's deep.
That is deep.
the flakes of yesterday.
And Sleepy Eat says this, wants me to really read this.
Opie said they've been in therapy for years about it.
Yeah, I mean, that is a long time, and I'm assuming
They've been in therapy together for years about it.
I think so, and that's also assuming that there's like a couples counselor with them. So I mean, you
get to a breaking point.
I think it's reached a breaking point, which is fine. You know, like I think she's well within her right to be like, hey, this is just not it for me anymore.
It is interesting how like the rhetoric towards the husband has gone like it was kind of like more positive in the beginning, and then it like really turned like the resolve towards ending the relationship was kind of like strong at the end. And
maybe it's like, hey, we've gone on too long, so it's like, all right, we're both just like frustrating ourselves, where we could just rebuild as like co-parents and do our relationship that way. I don't know.
I was also wondering about this. Is he functioning at work? Like, what is his work life like?
Seems good.
It seems good. It seems like he's doing well. Also, and just a reminder, we have talked about every single one of these things and more. This is what she says in the beginning.
You know, so maybe it has been communicated enough where it's like, you're just not getting it. I can't do this. Totally within her right.
Yeah, I think I think like if I was to amend some of my comments before, it seems like she has been bringing it up a lot.
Yeah.
And this is just a breaking point. Maybe it wasn't brought up in like as direct of a way, and this was like finally the most direct way. But even his response to her bringing this up was turning over.
Yep. 100%.
Which I think is like honestly a metaphor for what he's been doing the whole relationship.
Yeah. I think it got to the point where she's like, okay, now I'll just try to fix it for you. And it's like, it's at that point, it's unfair to everyone, because now you're trying to like force someone to do something, and also it's just not going to work for you. So
yeah, Slivy Tove says, I've been in this situation before. You start by asking for help as nicely as possible because it's awkward, uncomfortable. Then you straight up tell them. Then you exacerbate a fight. Then you're numb.
Poetic, but accurate.
That's yeah. I feel like I'm coming. I think rereading some of the bits from before, it feels like just end of the rope kind of thing.
Yeah, which makes sense. You know, that's a lot to have to to deal with, but ideally you don't get to the point where you're, you know, on the offensive and I think like doing what she was doing. That's my take. We got more stories.
We got more stories for you.
Let's get after it. Let's do it. A nap ruined my marriage. I finally snapped.
Snap back to reality.
Snapping on the nap. I, 28 female, am married to 30 male. I'll probably delete this in the morning, but I need to scream into the void. I've been married for under a year, but with my husband for 6 years. We have a 3-month-old little girl who's fantastic. I'm a first-time mom who's a stay-at-home mom, and my husband works from home. By the way, this comes from Popcorn Shrimp 111, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So my husband's not dumb, just emotionally inept sometimes. I've had a lot of resentment building since I was pregnant. His mom tormented me through my pregnancy by talking about miscarriages, stillbirths, and saying dead baby to me every time my husband wasn't around.
What the heck?
Oh my God. We got to get a hubby to be like, yo, mom, chill.
Dude, that's like,
out.
That is timeout territory.
That is knuckle
Yes.
sandwich worthy.
Oh, dear.
Oh my God.
She denied, he sympathized with me, but nothing was ever truly done. Since I gave birth, my husband's just been clueless. When I was there recovering, he would go home and sleep and leave me all alone because the couch was uncomfortable. Wait, so he wouldn't hang out with her on the couch because like, oh, babe, the couch hurts my
back.
bum. That's crazy. I had to call him 20 times to get him to wake up and come back to the hospital because I was lonely. He wasn't at the hospital with you?
He was tired.
Oh, God.
He's got to take care of himself.
He's gotta get
You got the
his
power of
beauty
2
sleep.
people in you. Like,
Yeah.
I only have one.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Then when he left, he was asking me to carry things to the car with him. Do you not understand how childbirth works?
I mean, like, but babe, you were carrying all this extra weight. I mean, I just want to make it the same.
Yeah. We're just like, you know, keep you in your routine. This is not the same, but my dad famously started boiling a pot of coffee when my mom went into labor with me. And my mom was like, get in the car, drive me to the hospital. The nurse had to tell him that I shouldn't be carrying anything. I'd just given birth. Because I was going to say, oh, if this was hospital another time, but yeah, it was right after she gave birth. When we got home, he complained about his lack of sleep. I was struggling learning how to nurse. He was my cheerleader through nursing. I have to give him credit there. As the first 2 months went, I was consistently bawling about how sleep deprived I was while he was getting 8 to 10 hours of uninterrupted sleep every night.
I mean, just because you're not getting sleep doesn't mean I can't get my Z's.
Golly. It caused a lot of fights because I couldn't hear him tell me he was exhausted without having a meltdown. Then his mom would come over and they'd leave a huge mess for me to clean on more than one occasion. He complained about the basement being messy, so I helped him lift things and clean up. It caused me to start bleeding heavily, and my doctor told me I shouldn't be lifting anything heavy. What does this not understand about medical professionals telling you not to do things that cause you to bleed?
Dude, I feel so bad for this guy. He's trying to like rearrange his basement and his wife just
And
keeps
doing
bleeding.
it all alone. Yeah, dude. Now he has to clean up blood.
No, yeah.
It's just so unfair.
Yeah.
Bro, he's trying to be a good manager, you know, and delegate effectively, and his subordinates aren't doing their work properly.
One's crying, the other one's like bleeding out. Like, what am I supposed to do here?
I got a useless team. God.
These employees.
Yeah, right. That's how he's seeing it. This is a point of contention because my husband continuously asked me to help him lift heavy things, and I couldn't, so he would get annoyed. Then he'd complain about it all day.
Oh my gosh.
Now we're at month 3, and I think my marriage is over.
Oh, man. I mean,
Please.
just now.
Dude, it would have been over when you asked her. Like, if I was a girl, it would have been over the moment you asked me to take something to the car.
Yeah, dude.
Hold things. What?
We've been distant ever since the baby arrived, and I haven't wanted to have spicy sleep or be affectionate.
Haven't you just been bleeding out?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I guess this is 3 months later.
Yeah, 3 months later.
3 months later.
But, you know,
okay.
literally she goes and she's like, hey, babe, how you doing? He's like, hey, is the basement clear? You got those 2x4s out of the way or what?
Did that little guy help you out, or was he just sitting there again? Just laying around.
He's like, oh, just looking around, just shaking his head like, oh. God. So husband has been asking if I'm all right a lot, and I say I'm fine. Boys, what happens when a woman says she's fine?
She's not fine.
She's not fine. I don't know what else to say, but I feel miserable and tense up every time he walks in the same room as me. Today, he was on my case about walking our dog. I'm so exhausted from exclusively my front airbag feeding, and I don't have the energy to walk our dog. I had been up since 2:30 a.m. with my baby and just couldn't handle anything else on my plate. So he whined and moaned about doing it, but promised me I could nap. I snapped and reminded him that I hadn't slept a full 8 hours in months. He got pissy and stormed off.
Man is doing nothing. This is the worst husband and father ever.
Like he doesn't get it. Like when you don't get it that you're like terrorizing your wife with lifting 2x4s and sleep deprivation, dude. He avoided me the entire day and locked himself in his office. Real mature. I spent the rest of the day randomly breaking down into full-blown sobs because I was so tired. 11 p.m. hits and he hasn't come out of his office, so I finally break and go get him. He gives me the cold shoulder and I just break down. All of the lack of support just broke me. I told him I hated him. I wish I could go home. I even mentioned divorce.
I mean, hey, at this point, I feel like that is warranted.
He's not a partner.
Breaking point.
Yeah.
Like to a ridiculous degree.
If you're like sleep deprived, and not only is he not like, oh, let's figure something out and watch the baby, he's like locking himself in his office. So the only option is basically leaving the baby unattended or you continuing to just be insanely sleep deprived.
Yeah, sir, you can properly just go F off.
Yeah.
Like locking himself away, making her walk the dog, and then forcing her to rearrange the basement.
Yeah. Next up, he's like, hey babe, I think we need a redesign in the living room. Could you move the couch and just like, a
little bit more to the
make
left.
sure that it looks good. You just keep moving.
A little bit more to the left. Actually, let's go to the right.
The bro's trying to make it on HGTV over here. So he calmed down and I apologized for being selfish. When I asked what he did all day, he said he napped.
Oh.
He locked himself in his office.
God.
And he napped.
But
dude,
I feel like this is the evil version of my brother. He loves to sleep. I feel like the evil Tate would do this for sure.
Yeah, evil naps are crazy, dude. Why take such a great thing and destroy it? He napped the whole day. While I was struggling to keep myself standing, he was napping.
Oh boy.
I broke down. I cried and cried. He was very apologetic and showering me in sorries and I love yous. For the first time ever, I couldn't tell him I loved him too. Now it's 2 a.m. and I can't sleep because I'm so distraught. How do we get this woman some sleep? We need to figure this out. He's snoring next to me and I just hate him right now. He's rubbing it in her face.
just give him a little whack.
Also, he slept all day and now he's like knocked out cold. Like, does bro have like some sleeping like disorder?
I want, like in like the Freddy Krueger movies where they like try to keep themselves awake by like splashing water on their face and like sticking like needles in their arms.
Yeah.
That's what she needs to do to him.
We gotta, we just drop the 2x4s from the basement on his lap.
Yeah. I say get to work. Start moving that couch. Stay up.
I want to take my baby and run away. I don't want to live here anymore. Being a single mom seems easier than dealing with all of this emotional stress and neglect.
That's how you know.
That
is how you know. Once you believe that raising the kid alone is better than raising the kid with this guy, that's how you know it is over.
Wow.
This guy is a butt.
Yeah. Good like test.
Yeah.
Like marriage test right there.
Marriage test.
Yeah.
Marriage test. Is it like what's easier? Well, but like, I mean, I feel like
maybe logistically. Is it logistically easier to like care for the baby, do all this stuff together or apart? And it seems like
I've thought about a date idea where Angie and I babysit kids for an evening just to see.
Dude, I have an idea for you.
What?
You should foster a dog together for a day.
For a day?
Yeah, you can take dogs from, it's like called like Happy Friends or whatever. You can take dogs and foster them for a day.
That's fun.
Or puppies.
Oh, yeah, that'd be sick.
You could, and then you could like take them out. Yeah, it'd be cute.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, right.
This couple can use actually not. They don't need another response.
Babe, I got us a foster dog for you to take care of.
Wait a second.
They had so many, so I brought 10 of them.
Yeah. I love them all.
I brought the whole litter, babe.
Yeah.
What do you I'm really tired from taking them over. I'm going to go nap. Here you go, babe.
Go walk him real quick.
Walk up. Here's like 10 leashes.
10. No. Remember, they have their own dog as well. So she has 11 dogs just like pulling her. She's
all
carrying.
just like she takes it and they all run in different directions.
Yeah. She's also holding the baby because he's not watching the baby. You know, he's napping.
She's bleeding.
He's bleeding and
falling asleep.
The cherry on the cake. She's moving the 2x4s from the basement to the dog.
Move the couch now. You have a bunch of sled dogs at your disposal. You should be able to help.
Oh goodness. Oh, okay. Whew, I gotta compose myself here. We got more, boys. We can't keep imagining these insane like Three Stooges scenarios over here. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? I just can't believe I'm ready to leave him all because he took a nap.
I mean, girl, it is not just a nap. That is the tip of the iceberg. It is so much more. This is the most incompetent straw man scarecrow of a husband you have.
Yeah.
Man stands in the field and does nothing. I think you gotta kick him over and leave him.
Yeah, Chad is rife with fury.
As
right
you
now.
should be, Chad.
As you should be. We ride at dawn. My Rizzle says. My Rizziel.
My Rizzle.
My Rizzle. Yeah.
Is it Mirazol?
Mirazol.
Mirazol?
I feel like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Mirazol.
But
yeah.
I also like my Rizzle.
My Rizzle's fun too.
Mirazol.
Choose your own
you.
adventure.
Yeah, let us know how to pronounce your.
But yeah, I think honestly, the first thing I would do is if OP has parents or someone in her life, call the parents and be like, hey, can I literally go to your house and freaking sleep?
Please. Yeah, yeah.
Just like watch my kid for like a few, just like be hanging out, have the kid around and just like let me sleep for a bit.
Because it's important after surgery to, rest, but surgery and having a baby is the same thing. So she needs to rest in order to get herself back.
It's insane the levels of like, he doesn't care or respect her needs at all. And these needs, we're not talking like, oh, I need to like go out, with my girls and I or whatever. We're talking like, I'm bleeding, lifting your freaking lumber, bro.
And falling asleep. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think like leaning a little bit on parents or family would be good.
Yes. But we have an update.
Oh my God. Let's hear it.
Let's dive into it here. So update, I fixed the FTM. It means first time mom, not female to male. I guess that was an abbreviation used. So we talked. Well, I talked and he listened. I told him I couldn't do this anymore and something needed to change immediately or I was going back home and I was going to take my baby with me. He stared at me confused. Why? Why you wouldn't do that? I don't get it. And then he realized I had 2 bags packed by my dresser, ready to leave.
Oh, wow.
I finally was able to articulate all the resentment that had been building. His mom's cruel and careless behavior. I forgot even about his crazy mom.
Wow. I forgot to, again, as a reminder to everyone, his mom would say, dead baby, dead baby, dead baby, when he wasn't around to OP.
While she's pregnant.
Yep. She like literally the mom was trying to like manifest freaking Beetlejuice style a miscarriage.
And he did nothing.
And this man did nothing. He is, wow, I forgot about that.
Yep.
This is so bad.
Yep.
This is so bad.
His mom's cruel and careless behavior, feeling abandoned at the hospital, and now at home, how it feels that everything falls to me so he can bring a paycheck home. I realized after saying all of this, I hadn't really told him how I was feeling, but just continued to bottle it up. He was defensive at first, and I gave him one warning that if this conversation was filled with excuses, I'm walking out.
Boom.
Good for you, sister. So he stopped and truly listened.
Okay. This is the first thing this guy has done all day.
But bro has walked 3 miles in the wrong direction, and this is his first step back to where he needs to go.
I don't think it's a step. This is the first time he's just stood still.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he's not walking in the wrong direction.
He's not
Mark. I
walking
like
in
that.
any direction, but he is maybe preparing to maybe make one right step.
Opie says he was genuinely remorseful. He only said sorry once at the end, but he meant it. Then he started asking me what I needed him to do. We made a plan, and I finally feel like I can breathe a little easier.
Okay. Again, a plan is great, but who said, was it like Winston Churchill that was like plans or something like that?
You make a plan and God laughs or something?
Yeah. Who's that? Who said that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's saying.
But
that.
anyway, yeah, plans often, don't go how you thought.
Indeed. What was it?
What?
The quote is, you make a plan, God laughs, a Yiddish proverb? What, Yiddish?
Yiddish proverb.
Yeah.
There you go. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we made a plan, and I finally feel like I can breathe a little easier. He has dog walks handled indefinitely. Mother-in-law is banned from the house and to have no contact with me or the baby. Once husband's off work, I'm off duty for the day. I'm still front airbag feeding because I want to do that. Feed with them front airbags. I get a lot of fulfillment out of it. And if you saw the way that my baby pats my front airbag when she nurses you, you would too. Her big hazel eyes are like a substance. An addictive substance that I can't say because of censorship. I'm typing this while soaking in a warm bath. I've been promised a weekend to decompress and sleep until my heart's content. I'll pump instead of nurse this weekend, and we have a stash of frozen milk he's planning on using. He knows what needs to be done, her routine, how much to feed her, so I know he's capable. I can actually hear him unloading the dishwasher right now. It's a miracle. We are planning on doing something as a couple one day out of each weekend, so I don't feel like just a mom. I can be a person too. You're not a mover. You're not a
dog walker.
Yeah, dog walker. Like
a little baby making machine.
We didn't just hire you on Rover to just be there. We are going to couples counseling, and I'm going to start individual therapy. He's already in therapy. Well, it ain't working too well. I didn't have a dad who showed him what love looked like. He had an adult toddler as a father who would throw tantrums and verbally mistreat him and his mother. My husband often comments on how my dad drops everything in a nanosecond for me and how he wants to be like that. But he's not. He's failing me and his daughter. That was really tough for him to hear. I mean,
hey, direct communication. We got it direct. You're saying, this is what you're doing. I got my bags packed, aggressive, but I think like you finally got through. You reach a point, and sometimes you need your communication maybe to cut through the noise.
Yeah,
a little bit, especially if you've had this conversation so many times, like.
And even like, I feel like the packed bags is like, it was a communication tool, but also like, I'm literally just exhausted and I'm going to like go to my parents' house to sleep. Yeah. So now we can take it day by day. If he's actually capable of change, I'll have to wait and see. My bags are still packed and by the door. My guess, I have them there as a reminder to myself that leaving is an option at any moment I please. That makes me feel a little bit better. I'm hopeful, but not delusional. I know we might not be able to come back from this. And that's okay. I have to take care of myself, so my little girl has a mama who smiles at things besides her. I have an appointment scheduled for a postpartum depression screening, and my mom is planning on visiting the start of next month. That's a smart idea. My family is ready with their door wide open when I choose to come home. Made me cry to hear my dad tell me he'll be on the first flight when I'm ready, so I don't have to fly home alone.
That's so cute.
Adorable. Thank you all for letting me spill my guts. And we have an update number 2.
Yeah, I'm a little hesitant about this plan because usually when couples have like big arguments like this, the guy will change, the girl will change for about a week or two, and then right back at it as if nothing happened.
Habits are hard to change.
Yeah, habits are hard to change. Old habits die hard. And as Winston Churchill said, plans are
Indeed.
So the likelihood of it going through, low.
Yeah. Are we all on he's going to fail?
I mean,
poll?
I'm so like, I love that this story has the possibility.
Yes.
Of ending with a happily ever after. I love a happy ending.
I see now.
But I'm not hopeful. I'm not hopeful that, that this is going to lead to, the places you want it to.
You know what? I'm going to be different. I'm going to be on the side of hope today, ladies and gentlemen.
Side of hope.
He hasn't earned it, but I'm gonna give it to him for some reason.
I'm giving hubby fail. John's giving hubby success. Let's see what happens.
Because on one hand, he is going to therapy, trying to be a better person, but the other hand, habits are hard to change.
Well, we've got update number 2, so let's find out. I've been wanting to update, but I've been scared. I felt so overwhelmed and haven't been sure what to write. The post I wrote was me at my lowest. I wish I could take the version of me in time and just hug her. I was broken down. I needed anyone to be real with me. Those comments feel like a slap in the face and way too much to handle all at once. So I needed time to read through and digest it all. Thank you, everyone. I was diagnosed with postpartum depression and anxiety shortly after I made my post. To the people who pushed me to talk to my doctor, thank you. My life has improved tenfold after getting proper treatment. I feel like in normal updates, people dive into their lives and the details of what's happened. I don't want to do that. I want to say something that's more important than me and my life. To the moms and their loved ones, if you or anyone you know has just had a baby, check in on them. If you've just had a baby, make sure you have someone who's tuned into you. Although you have brought new life into the world and it should be joyous, you are allowed to feel whatever you feel. Please, even if you feel fine, prioritize your mental health and well-being because your baby depends on you to be healthy so they can be healthy. What you're going through is valid and important, and you need someone to look out for you. While you look out for the baby, someone needs to look out for you with the same love and care. By the way, I want to know how to love and care the best possibly freaking can. 2,000 knee-slapping, brain-tickling episodes full of relationship advice. That is, if you go to Spotify, Apple, or iHeart, search OK Storytime, listen to our huge catalog of the podcast. It's a good time. But boys, we do have, I think, a little bit of a
I can't believe. Yes, your message was important, but I want to hear the tea.
Yes.
I want to hear the update. That's important too.
Did he follow through? That is the question at hand.
I feel like OP doesn't really want to talk about it.
Oh,
maybe it's too traumatic.
Oh,
maybe it didn't happen.
Well, I think we're getting at least a little tidbit.
All right, let's see.
Coming up. As for me, my life has turned around. Taking care of myself was what I needed. I know people told me to leave my husband and how horrible he is, and like every other excuse post, you don't understand because you're not living it. I'm happy, safe, and healthy, but most importantly, my daughter is thriving. It took a lot of work, and it will continue to take a lot more. I love my husband, and he has shown through time that he can be reliable and hasn't faltered.
Okay.
I really thought he would fail, and was expecting it most days.
I thought it too, but John might be right.
But he hasn't. That's right. He actually turned it around, and that feels better than winning the lottery. I guess people can change when they really want to, can't they? I could go on and on, but things are better. My daughter's happy and healthy. She's feisty like me, and nothing's going to stop her. She loves her daddy as much as I do, sometimes more. And now, with a clear head, I can see things are okay because we have and continue to learn how to communicate with one another. If I could pass anything on, check on your loved ones. Sometimes they don't even know how hard they're struggling until you pull the wool from over their eyes. Thank you to everyone. Posting was the push I needed. And some quick notable comments. Commenter asked if OP's husband apologized. OP says, yes, he has. He continues to and has acknowledged how his selfishness came at my expense in the most vulnerable time in my life. It's a shame that follows him, and he asked randomly if I really do forgive him. It's uncomfortable to see how awful he feels about what happened because all I wanted to say is it's okay, but we both know it's not and never will be. So it's icky going to live with that, but I also know that it's for the best, which is a pretty powerful thing. It's like, hey, your behavior was not okay. I can't just say it's okay to it, but hey, we're building and growing from here, and hey, it is okay now, it seems. And then another commenter, you're letting yourself down by staying. As someone else down thread said, your rose-colored glasses must be glued to your face.
I don't know if that's fair.
That's a little much. OP says, maybe, but I don't really think so. It's easy to judge. I'm not too interested if people support my choices or not. I really only posted this in hopes that if anyone else is struggling with PPD or PPA, this could help push them to seek help. And that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. I mean, I'm happy that it ended well.
Yeah,
I'm happy that it ended well. I'm still like nervous about the husband, but it does seem like he's been showing some good strides.
I feel like at this point, and maybe she was able to, like, with the proper treatment, like, it's easier to give him an excuse because she's just like feeling better in general, give him a pass. But it seems like from all that she was going to the first one, if he wasn't kind of holding his end of the bargain, she'd be more vocal about it, and she didn't really say anything.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's not really.
She said he's doing well.
Said he's doing well. So
But let us know what you think. Put your answers in the comments below. All right. I think that's where this episode ends. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.